Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and today we've got just some random. We got a pile of random right here, and it's all stuff I got from the old AliExpress. Yeah, I've been kind of addicted to perusing that website and finding interesting items for, try for cheap is the goal. That doesn't always happen, but usually I'm able to get some pretty good deals on some stuff and whatnot. Some of them are like these Chinese acronym brands like JKM and DCT, and then some are brands like X-Car Toys, which is a little bit maybe more well known, and then Burago, which is definitely a little bit more well known. And Burago, I mean, there's some Burago stuff that's in the States and all that, so it's a well known brand. And then this 596, I've been wanting to get a casting from them for a bit to check out. And there was a really good price on this Chevy Suburban U.S. Secret Service car. So I thought I would go ahead and pick that up. I thought that would be a cool one to check out. And then, of course, we've shown some of these other brands. Like I've shown DCT and I've shown JKM before. Although I've shown this casting before in another color. And I've shown another military truck from JKM, but not this one. So this will be new. So we've got some cool stuff to look at. We've got this Buick Regal. I mean, that's kind of neat too. And then it looks like a Mazda, a Tenza Wagon, which I think is like a Mazda 6 wagon, something like that. All right. And then we got some Chinese brand, like not Chinese brand. This is Burago, but Chinese like manufactured cars. I believe these are both EVs, the Voya and the Zeekr. All right. Well, what should we look at first? Let's go for this Lexus LFA from DCT, which is Diecast team. This is a Toyota officially licensed product, which DCT, I believe, does have a legit license for Toyota. However, they put out cars that are not Toyotas, and I do not think they're licensed. So this company does kind of a mix of licensed and unlicensed product, which is kind of interesting, I guess. So it's got some really tight shrink wrap on it, and I'm not sure if that's from DCT or if that's just from the seller, because it's got like kind of a I don't know, maybe like an export sticker or something on it. I'm not sure what that's about. Let's go ahead and rip her open. And it's a Lexus LFA from Diecast team. Packaging, this is the older style of packaging from them. So this model's probably been out for quite a while. I don't know exactly how long, but it's been out for a bit. Textured. You get an acrylic case, which is always nice. The car is not actually screwed down to the base. It's just sitting in a blister, which is kind of cool. You don't have to mess around with any screws. We got some tape holding the top of the acrylic case on. And let's go ahead and open this up and check it out. So acrylic case is decent on these. Base plate, it's okay. It says Diecast team on the bottom. And then a little blister that holds in our detailed little car. So DCT apparently is like the little brother or the less premium version of GCD. And I've had quite a few of them now, and they are pretty nice. Nice for the price. These things are pretty inexpensive. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for, and the pricing on these things do fluctuate wildly, so you can kind of hunt for deals on stuff. This one's got, I think this one, does this one have the suspension? Some of their models have like a little bit of spring to them. This one does. It's screwed together, and I did at one point take one of these apart and verify, yes, there is like a leaf spring kind of situation going on in there. And so they do actually like legitimately have some sort of like suspension system, I guess. You do get inserted details for taillights. It's not the sharpest detail ever, but it's there. And same with the headlights. And I think they got the overall shape of this car done pretty well. The LFA has been put up by a few different die-cast manufacturers, and apparently it's one that's been hard to get right, because They always have looked kind of goofy. This one looks, I would say, pretty darn good. So, yeah, pretty decent. So I like it. The rear axle, I think, is all the way pressed in, though, so you can't... There's no spring left in this, but the front there is. So, gives it kind of a launching look. So, yeah, there's that. All right, so that's DCT, detailed interior, plastic base, metal body, rubber tires, details all around, inserted, all that jazz, kind of a fairly detailed interior. You got red seats in there. So, pretty decent little model. Let's put it actually over here. I'll just set it right here for right now. All right, so next brand we'll take a peek at then. Let's look at JKM. So this would be another brand that I've sort of reviewed already. And these come in these kind of plainish boxes. No licensing that I can tell. If there is some sort of license or statement of licensing here, it's not in English. And it's a CA-30 military truck, which I think is probably a Chinese military truck, would be my guess. And I don't know anything about it, I'm just guessing. So in the box of this one, we've got some foam. And then we've got the vehicle in a bag. And that's how they ship their stuff. So, very inexpensive for what they are. Because what they are is pretty darn neat. So, we've got this military truck, some assembly required. We've got some side mirrors right here. I don't know. They're in a little bag. I don't know if I'm going to put them on ever, because then it's going to make storing the truck a little bit more difficult. But here's the truck. And I got to tell you, like, right off the bat, this thing is very, very heavy. The base is metal. With the... Yeah, it's metal. Except for these back axles, which have some sort of, like, suspension to them. Which is kind of interesting. Little pin in the middle there. The tires are rubber. The body's metal. This whole bed situation is metal. I mean, it's metal. And then the spare tire, actually, right here, is rubber. We've got painted details all around for headlights and those little dots for taillights. Oh, is that inserted? Those are actually inserted little plastic pieces for the headlights, actually. So that is really cool. So the other military truck that I had got from them, which is another Chinese like military truck, was really cool and really detailed. So I decided to go ahead and snag this one up as well, because I'm like, wow, I was very impressed with it. And this one really doesn't let me down either. I don't know. It says it's 1/64 scale. And, you know, it probably is. It's pretty big. You compare it to, like, you know, an LFA. So this thing is pretty darn neat. I would definitely recommend these if you're into, I guess, military vehicles, stuff like that. And I would think this would be pretty much up your alley. I don't think I'm going to add these because they're just going to be fragile. And I'll just leave them off for now. I want to be able to put this thing back in the box. I don't really have much room to display it right now, so we got to be able to put it back in the box. But man, this thing rolls like super good, way better than the LFA actually does roll fairly decent too. All right, that's two models. What shall we look at? Yes, next. So since we're sticking with some Chinese stuff, well, we'll skip. Well, actually, we're going to look at the Zeekr and the Voya in a minute, but let's do this Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. So these are like basic Barragos from what I can tell. This actually has the Mercedes licensing, and it probably is actually, it likely is actually licensed. So this is Mei Chong Group that does the licensing, or, you know, owns Barrago, the brand, or runs it, or what have you. And then we've got this little Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. 1954. So again, a little bag in there that was holding the unit, and just a little box. The box is kind of cool. It's got some foil print on it and stuff like that. The only issue with it is it's not reclosable. So once you open it, it's opened, unless you glue it back shut or tape it shut. So that's kind of a bummer because you can't, like, it's not set up as, you know, some sort of storage device for the vehicle. So this is like mainline Virago, I guess we'll call it. It has plastic wheels, plastic base, metal body. We've got kind of inserted pieces and details up front and in the back for at least the bumper and the exhaust. It's got suspension, a lot of it, and it has an opening hood with some detail in there. So, I mean, these aren't exactly super cheap, I guess. They're like $5 or something like that. I mean, that's pretty cool, though, I think. You know, we got Matchbox moving parts and stuff here stateside, but I don't think that's really as cool as this. And, you know, the hood shuts nice. The shut lines are pretty good. We've got the suspension. That's just crazy. This thing looks cool slammed, too. But just quality-wise, there's extra pieces and little bits and stuff like that. It rolls beautifully well. It's a nice little car. So I may think about getting some more of these little basic Viragos. And I think these ones are actually supposed to be 1/64 scale or closer to it. So that's kind of interesting. So here in the U.S., I think basically when you're looking at Virago, you're looking at stuff that's a little bit larger scale than 1/64 is what we would typically see. All right, so there's that. It can kind of, yeah, it fits right in there. Look at that team transport. It makes 0 sense, but it's there. All right, the Voya Free. Voya Free. I did open this one up a little bit, take a peek at it. I did not unseal it from its bag. So this bag is actually sealed. You get a box that's actually reclosable. Likely there is some sort of licensing involved with this because this is actually a Chinese car manufacturer. I guess the bag's not sealed, it's just taped. So we will untape it. And then we will get the vehicle out right off the bat. It's got suspension, which is very cool. I don't know, I like suspension in diecast models for some reason. It rolls beautifully well. We have I believe that's a plastic base. Yeah, it's got to be with the weight of this thing. It is riveted together. The tires are rubber. And then we've got some pretty good detail. Fairly sharp. And then we got some pretty good detail up front, including some inserted pieces for the headlights. That's pretty neat. Overall, kind of impressed with this little thing. So I got these because I was like, I just wanted to check out. They have a bunch of different, like, just Chinese vehicles, and I thought these would be kind of cool ones just to try out. They were cheap, and they looked like they were pretty high quality. And it's kind of interesting. Probably not too many people in the U.S. here have a 1/64 scale car of a Voya Free, but I do. And I think that's kind of neat. It's different. Something a little bit weird, you know. There's nothing too special about the way that car looks, but I think it's a pretty quality little vehicle. Here's a Zeekr. This looks like it's a minivan of sorts, but I believe this is also an electric vehicle. So let's go ahead and get it open. This one, the wrapping is still on it, because I have not peeked at this one at all, which apologize that I didn't, because now I got to struggle with the shrink wrap. So we'll pop that off of there. I'll probably leave some affiliate links to some of this stuff in the description of the video. if I think to do it before posting the video, which I may fail. But if I do, check the description of the video. You might see some affiliate links to this stuff that might make it easier for you to navigate the website. If there is something in this video that you want to find, I'll try to find the postings where I bought these, and then I will post them so that you can purchase stuff if you want. And then, I don't know, I might get a kickback. I don't know exactly how it works. I just opened it up. All right. That is kind of Jaws James Bond looking there. 009. Yeah, that's a kind of a menacing grill. Yeah, we get this is an inserted piece for the taillight. That's really cool. It's a pearl kind of silverish white. It's not quite really silver like silver. It's not quite white. It's just like a silver white. I don't know how to explain it. It's not quite pearl white. It's got like a hint of silver in it. So plastic base again, rubber tires, suspension. Look at these wheels. Zeker. That's one of those like weird like optical illusion wheels, spinning things where. I don't know. It reminds me of telling if your like record player is spinning in the correct RPMs. So pretty nifty. I don't know. This is cool. This is it is a minivan. That front end, I mean, looks like just a metal tooth grill, and it's kind of scary actually looking a little bit. It's a little weird. Headlights look a little weird. The whole overall design of the vehicle is not bad though. I mean, it looks pretty much up to speed with other things that have come out recently. So, again, the suspension. These are nice. These are nice little models. Will I get a bunch of them? Will I try to collect a whole Chinese brand that I have no idea who they are? No, probably not. But they are nice. They are pretty nice. So I like that. All right, let's do. We're gonna save this 596 for last. Let's do the X-Car Toys. This one got a little crunched in package in shipping. That's one thing I will warn you about. The way that AliExpress does ship their cars, depending on how they get shipped, they may not always, the packaging may not always arrive in perfect shape. I'll just put it that way. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it don't. And this one, it didn't. And since I don't care all that much about packaging, it's not really a big deal for me, but just in case it is for you, suspension is a thing here. This has it too. But yeah, it's a Mazda 6 wagon. You get some headlight detail up front. You get some taillight detail in the back. A little bit of residue there, glue residue. This one has I think this is a metal base. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Yeah, I think that's metal. Pretty sure that's metal. Wheels look pretty good. It's a pretty basic car. I believe the only reason why I bought this thing is because it was like super cheap. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have. It's got pretty good detail in the interior. I just wanted to kind of check out the brand. I don't think I have any X-Car toys in my collection, so I kind of wanted to check them out. But then I wanted this thing. This is a Buick Regal. I'm like, a Buick Regal? That's kind of cool. This one's actually got the GM licensing, too. This Mazda, does it have Mazda licensing? It says X-Car Toys, the mini car collection. I don't see anything specific. X-Car Toys Vintage. Yeah, I don't know. See, this is one of those brands that's a little bit confusing. I'm not sure. And I think X-Car Toys and Pop Race, I think, are related in some way. I don't know. But it's got that GM holograph licensing. I don't know what their numbering system's about either. This is Y1602. This is Y1402. No clue what that means. Someone may, and if they do, shoot a comment down below. But I got this because it's a Buick. And I'm like, a Buick? That's kind of a goofy thing to make. And look at that. Look at this beautiful Regal. I mean, it's kind of cool, all right? I mean, just get these kind of plain... Look how bland this selection of cars is. Like, mine is this, because it's, you know, that's a classic, right? And then mine is this. But even though this is one of the more bland-looking, I guess, supercars you could ever have. We got some bland stuff here today. And although I think it's kind of cool, sometimes bland is neat. So yeah, metal base, 1/64 scale, screwed together, rubber tires. Does it have the suspension? It does. And, you know, we get the inserted details for headlights. We get some detail up front there in the grille. Nice quality paint, it feels like. You know, these aren't like ultra premium diecast cars, but they're premium enough. The thing rolls beautifully. And what can I say? It's a Buick Regal Gen 4 China. So this is the Chinese Buick Regal. I mean, yeah, it looks like a Buick. I mean, what a goofy car to make, right? But maybe they're somewhat popular in China. I do not know. All right, so that's pretty neat. I think that's cool. This kind of stuff is just cool. Like I said, we're on Bland Street here, so and I enjoy it sometimes. All right, so this 596, we got a Chevy Suburban U.S. Secret Service. So they have released a Secret Service, a Border Patrol car, which my buddy, just before I filmed this actually today, my buddy Brian, or Bearded Mug Media, we'll call him, fellow Lamley contributor. It's funny that I even call myself a Lamley contributor. I contribute in spirit. I haven't written anything in a while, in a long while. It just got this 596 model in the Border Patrol, and it's got like some hilarious thing on the side right here, like something about we will deport your aliens or something goofy. It's worded really goofy. This is limited of 1 of 3,000, or 1 of 2,999 to be exact. So there's 229 or 2,000. Geez, Louise, 2,998 of them left out there after I own this one. But yeah, so I got this because I wanted to get this Suburban casting, and I thought it would be kind of nice. And this one was like the least expensive of them. Was this all black one, which is I guess a Secret Service. And man, it's looking pretty darn good. I mean, again, it's a bland vehicle. What is this? Oh, there's a brush guard. So this one, some assembly required if you want to as well. There is a brush guard right here that you can add to the front. Let's see if there's holes up here for it. No. I mean, there's little spots right there where you could glue it on, it looks like. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be attaching it. I hate when brands do this. I mean, I guess I understand why it's necessary at times, but especially when there's nothing to really like line it up with. I suppose, like, I'm not even going to pull it out of this little bag. We're just going to leave it where it is. So I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. I don't like having to assemble my own models. Otherwise, I would build models. I wouldn't buy diecast. That's what I would do. This one's going to get super fingerprinted, and those will just not bother wiping anything off until I'm done showing it to you guys. It's black. It's a black car. Truck. SUV, rather. So rubber tires. Metal base. Heavy metal base. Rubber spare, which we might need. This tire does not want to. There we go. All right, that's pretty good. We got inserted detail for the headlights and grille. And then we've got inserted details for the taillights. And it's all black. Should this thing have tinted windows if it's a Secret Service? I don't know. You'd think it would. Like it would have tinted windows. They wouldn't be able to see into the side of it, but maybe not. But this is a pretty sick 164 scale Suburban, and I bet you it's pretty darn close to being 164 scale, putting it up against this Buick. It's got to be pretty close. Like, all these cars are probably very, very actually somewhat scale accurate. Even this little Mercedes quite possibly could be. Even this big truck quite possibly could be as well. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this stuff? So it's kind of an odd mix of vanilla, you know. So not really vanilla when it comes to collecting diecast, because I guess it's less common to have common cars than it is to have like supercars and stuff like that be showcased in diecast or be immortalized in diecast form. But it's kind of cool to get this stuff. So I really enjoy it. I really like it. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below of this stuff. And again, I'll try to put some sort of affiliate link down there if I can think of it. We'll give it a shot and then see if you can, follow that and find this stuff. So, all right, I appreciate it. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.